And we welcome you into another edition of the Ollie Reed Sports Podcast, back-to-back episodes in one day. After we got done talking with ESPN National Recruiting Director Paul Biancardi, just wrapped that up a few hours ago, and now we are joined by another national high school recruiter, Mr. Kevin Moses. Mr. Kevin Moses, always a pleasure to see you, my friend. How are you doing today?
I'm doing quite well, brother Ali. It's always good to see you too, my friend.
Yes,
Nice
sir.
to
Good to
meet you,
see you.
Jagger.
Yes, sir. Nice to meet you as well.
That's my co-host, Mr. Jagger Matheny, and this is the Ollie Reed Sports Podcast, giving you news and notes around the world of high school and college basketball across the Mountain State and beyond. And make sure you guys go like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, first thing first, and also make sure to give us a like and review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify for more college basketball and high school basketball content like this. So first things first, ladies and gentlemen, like we were just talking with Paul Biancardi, we were talking about the Adidas 3SSB Palmetto Road Championships. Me and Kevin Moses will be there in attendance for that for this upcoming week. Top talent from all across the country and underrated talent, and also college coaches from all across the entire country will be there. So it's going to be a fun and fantastic event. We're going to start with our top players heading off into this tournament. The players that I'm going to be looking at first things first, I think me and Paul already went over this today. But one of my favorite players I'm really looking forward to seeing is Talon Kinney from the Wildcat Select, formerly known as the I feel like I want to say it was ITP PS. I forget what the original name was called, but it was in the state of West Virginia. It was West Virginia based Adidas brand back before. This was before it was um, the SSB circuit. It was the Adidas Gauntlet. But Talon Kinney is a really good basketball player. Really, like Paul Biancardi mentioned, he's really he just moves so fluently, and he loves to shoot the outside shot. He's really good at shooting the three ball. Really athletic, can get to the rim at a high level. And I remember I talked to him. I talked about him a few months ago, right after the Adidas sessions were over, and he did a really good job. He played really well in all those 8 games that he played. Wildcat Select is a really talented team. I went over it with Paul earlier. Um, Mentioned that they have Cole Elton. I think I pronounced his last name right. 6 foot point guard, has first high major offer from Pitt. Also had his also got a bunch of high major interest, so hopefully see some more offers coming for him. Cole Elderton. And then we also have Willie Foster, highly athletic forward for Wildcat Select as well, and Adam O. AO is for short. I can't really pronounce his last name, but he is ranked in that top 30 something. He's like in the top 35 in the ESPN top 100 rankings. So this Wildcat Select team, I think it's going to make the 1700 program is going to make a lot of noise, and they've already been one of the hottest and most popular teams in the country, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do heading into the Rock Hill Championships this week.
I tell you, one of the kids out of West Virginia that I'm looking forward to talk to catch that show that we talked about earlier, which is Big Noah. Big Noah. I enjoy watching him. I remember Ali the first time that I saw him. We were in the same building in West Virginia then when we were at that showcase they had up there. And we had to do the speech. Remember, we had to do the speech, and we were both nervous.
Yep.
And Noah, Noah was there, and among like the top 100 players in all of West Virginia, and
Mm-hmm.
he showed us flashes then of exactly what he could be, and he developed into what we thought we saw that day because he's a monster. He is a high level Division I player, already holds Division I offers, and his ceiling is still high. But he's a man, and he plays like he's a man no matter what stage he's on. He's always fun to watch. And the last time that I saw him play, I think was what we were talking about earlier at the Parmar, and
Mm-hmm.
G Dub played there. So I'm always excited to see Noah play. And this time he's got, I'm looking forward to seeing also the Indiana Elite 17U and the 16U.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking a little earlier about, that 17U, they were going to have Ant Thompson and Jacob Spurlock, the dynamic duo that I have followed him for a long time, and I couldn't wait to see him play. But unfortunately, Jacob won't be able to make it. He had that injury, and he won't be there. But Ant will, and so I get to see Anthony Thompson play one last time while he's in high school, because I probably won't get to make it up to the school during the season. But this gives me an opportunity to watch him play when there's something on the line. So I'll probably get to see the best version of him. So before we talk about any of the other teams, I want to set the stage kind of, Ollie. National Championship Tournament. That's what this is. And we're highlighting individual players, but this is when all of the best players on this circuit and the best teams on this circuit all converge in Rock Hill. And there has to be a play-in to get to the championship round, 32. So, and then when you finally get to that championship round, there's only one winner. So you're going to get the best of the best of the best of every team that makes it to that round, right? So get this picture in your mind. Everybody knows it's win or go home once you get to that championship round. Win or go home. Nobody wants to go home. Everybody wants to be the champion. So imagine the battles we're going to see in real time as everybody has that same mindset. And everybody has the talent to win it, except for only one can win. That, sir, is what we live for.
Absolutely.
It is exactly why we're in the house. So that sets the stage for why it's so important that we highlight kids that we want to see, but keep the overall vision. This is a national championship tournament we're going to see.
I know. And that's like the first time that I've been to a national championship like this before. I mean, I've never been to anything this big before. I mean, I've covered, you and I know, we've covered a few AAU tournaments. You've probably went to a few more than I have in couple recent years, but this is the first national championships week that I'm actually covering for the first time, and I feel like it's a real stepping stone for me. And I know, and just to see a couple of West Virginia talented kids, like we just mentioned with Noah Lewis, just grinding all the way to being one of the top players in the whole state and playing on that big of a stage is just so surreal just to see. And because Noah Lewis's game, like you said, I mean, he's a slasher. I mean, he can get to the rim at a high level. I mean, his 3-point game is continuing to improve. His shot making has improved a lot. He went off in that Midwest Live period in Sandusky, Ohio at Cedar Point a couple of weeks ago, and he's been racking up mid-major offers and interest ever since.
That's what I like to hear. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and you were talking earlier about Noah with his mid-major D1 offers. Do you think before his senior season ends, do you think that those mid-major offers could turn into higher D1 offers for Noah?
I think so. No, hold on. That's not a thing. That's an I know. I know that he can get those high major offers. If he works hard, if he just works on his game, and we'll just have to see what this week has to offer. Who knows? He may actually get that high major offer in the next week if he improves. I mean, he's playing for a really good Phenom United program along with Dizon Hall, Carlos Bedlock Jr. I mean, he's got all those guys around him. I mean, Phenom United, they were really good last year. They had the number one rated recruit in the country in Darren Peterson play for him. They had Braden Hawthorne, the Beckley, West Virginia native that played for him, and now he's at the University of Kentucky. And we've seen how these kids at this level have grown. Like we said with Noah Lewis, it's the same thing with Noah Lewis with Braden Hawthorne. I watched that kid grow as a young freshman, really lean. He was like one of the skinniest dudes on the court. He was one of the skinniest dudes I ever seen on the basketball court in that whole entire West Virginia prep. It was the first year we did it. And My Lord, he was. I mean, he was so skinny, but he was so tall. I mean, obviously, he was a really lean machine. He was like lighting up from deep. Yeah, he was getting into the paint. Like he was still Mister Do It All, and just seeing that from him, and just seeing it just as a whole, as a state, you know, going to that big stage we saw with Braden Hawthorne last year. I have a feeling that Noah Lewis will do the same again. We'll see it again with Noah Lewis this year.
He definitely has the ability to play at a high level D1. What
Mm-hmm.
they'll probably be looking for is the consistency at the three, because he has the size, he has the motor, he has the ability off the bounce, he can play off the block, but that consistency at three, it'll be something they'll be really keyed in on, and his defense. Um, it's kind of like everybody on the D1 level can shoot. We know they can shoot, but what else can you do, and what else can you do well? And then at his size, that factors in even bigger, because you got to be able to defend, because you're going to play against big boys every single night that are
Yep.
as big as you or bigger, and you have to be able to defend them, because if you score 20 but they score 24, you may put your team in a position they're not going to win. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to be able to defend those guys, right? So we got these dynamics around his involvement that they'll be looking for. And I'm not saying no, it's not a good defender, because that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm
Right.
just saying, that has to be something that stands out, moving forward, if he wants to elevate himself from mid-major D1 to high-level D1. And then that consistency at that three-point shot. That boy, if he can get that somewhere, I don't know where it is right now, but if it's somewhere between the 38 to 42% range for percentage of shooting that three, that's a game changer for Noah. At his size, that is a game changer with everything else he can do. And if he can do that consistently, he can almost decide where he wants to go. And I know that he really would like to go over there to, is it Liberty? I want to think. I can't think. There is a school that he likes a lot, but I just know that's the difference between him settling for a mid major and excelling to a high level D1.
Right. And we've already seen it. The athleticism is there. I mean, I saw the video, his recent highlight clip. I don't know if I can show it here, but his recent highlight clip in Midwest, he literally dunked on somebody that was just like the same size as him. And I mean, he's got the athleticism, he's got the size, but it's the consistency with the shooting. I have a feeling if he can do that, then the high major offers will come, and I have a feeling that it will come. I mean, who knows? Like I said, it might be this week. It may be next month. Who knows? But I have a feeling that if he improves, if he succeeds, because those coaches are going to look for the teams that are going to be willing to win. Because Phenom United is in that championship bracket. If they can try to win a few games and Noah Lewis goes off, he's going to get looked at. No question
Yes.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about, the element of the competition level, but the coaches, they will be packed in that place. They will be everywhere, and they're there specifically to see who's going to put on the best show consistently all weekend. And there, it's kind of like a good old boys club. They will all know each other. They will all shop talk,
Mhm.
however you want to say it,
Yeah.
the whole time we're there, the whole time we're in there. And they will engage us, Ali, as we do our media coverage stuff, because they see what we see. And it's kind of like, especially if we know the kids and we're talking and engaging with the kids, that's going to spark conversation for us with the coaches. And because we want to build that connection with them so strong, we'll do a lot of that just naturally. We just naturally will blend in with the coaches. But I mean, you just watch. You're going to enjoy just that element alone when you see exactly who is there, and you get to pick their brains. They get to pick your brain. I mean, you get to hear how they carry on when they're amongst themselves and they're doing their thing in their zone. And you're just taking it all in. You're just absorbing stuff. And for me, I'm an engaging kind of fellow. So and I know some of the coaches, so I fit right in, especially when I see one or two that I know. We're going to start it up, and then you'll watch them sit back and they'll study, listen to you talk to the other coaches, and they're going, know a little something, don't you? And so,
Yep.
it sparks this connection. And you're going to enjoy that part a lot as well. Just remember, I told you that you'll enjoy that part too. So
Absolutely.
The other Indiana Elite team I'm looking forward to is the 16U. This got my boy Nolan Kaufman out of Kentucky. I've watched him. He's a different ball player. He's so good. But if you know anything about Indiana Elite, their 3SSB level teams, they are always very, very good. They're always very competitive. So Nolan Kaufman, when we started our connection, he was playing with the Stars here out of Tennessee, though he lived in Kentucky, right? And so I got to watch him play, and I was in awe of this big guy, kind of in the mindset of a Noah Lewis, but not quite as filled in. He's not
right.
that man, but he's still a big guy that's so versatile, and he's so fast that he can score on all three levels, and he is a great defender. He's already a great defender, and he passes the ball well. He's got a stunning IQ that just blows my mind. He's going to be a D1 talent at the end of the day. And when you see him over there, remember I told you that when you watch him, he's there to do everything guy. And for Lyon County, where he goes to school, he's there to do everything guy. He's just, wow. He's captivating to watch. He's really, really good. And then I'm looking forward to our in-state teams. West Virginia is my home away from home, but my home is Tennessee. So the Tennessee Impact 17U, I've been watching them since they were all freshmen. And I was expecting to see Trey Thompson play with them, but he reclassed down to 2025 and committed to Iowa. And I wrote an article about that, Ali. You need to read it. But,
I'm get right on that.
I call him man child. I remember when I first saw him down in Atlanta, I was like, I told his dad, I just need to see one thing to tell you how special that boy is. And he said, "What's that?" I said, if he can shoot that three, that boy's on another level. And that's when he was really, really young, y'all. And he was still polishing his game at that time. Oh, and he said, "Are you coming to this afternoon's game?" I said, "Absolutely." First three shots, triples, and he hit all three of them. I'm like, that's all I need to see. That boy right there is going to be something else. So anyway, I was kind of excited, but now I'm still excited because I'm going to go visit Iowa now so I can watch him play there. And he's fit for that. He's fit for that system and that whole grind of the Big Ten because he's a physical, big body boy that can just go. But then there's kind of like you got Alex and you got the one I call Controlled Chaos, which is, forgive me if I butcher this name, Hazelbacker, Braden Hazelbacker. That dude, he's a guard that he's so aggressive. He's so tough. Then you got Alex Leaf. I mean, you got Devin. I mean, they're a loaded team that's played together all of their high school years. This Tennessee Impact 17U. They make a natural habit of beating EYBLs, and I'm talking about beating them bad. They weren't just beating them mildly. They beat them bad. They took it personally every time they faced one. And then they made it pretty deep in this tournament last year in the championship run. So I'm very, very supportive and curious to see how this Tennessee Impact team does now, especially without Trey in the mix, because that changes this team. But they were still very, very good, each one of them in their own right. So you're still going to have to bring your A game to beat them because here's the scary part, Ali. On this team, all 5 starters are D1 caliber athletes. The first 3 players off the bench are D1 caliber athletes. So when you play them, you got to be ready to go because they are always ready to go. And beating them is a chore. And then, we can keep dropping down on that Tennessee Impact team. They don't get any weaker. And I got kids on all of those levels. I got Ashby Chadwick. We talked about him earlier. You asked me if I knew him. He's playing with the 2027s, right? Ashby Chadwick is potentially a double-double machine every time he steps on the floor anywhere. But he's versatile enough that he's like, now he is Noah's size. And he can step out and shoot the three. He can kill you at the mid-range. But because he's so good around that basket, he makes a living right there. He doesn't have to go outside if he doesn't want to. But if he chooses to, you're gonna be in some trouble. If he gets hot, you can't defend that length with that shot. You just can't. And he's one of the best rim protectors we're gonna see all weekend. And he's hungry for boards. He's physical. He's aggressive. And if you ever tick him off, don't poke the bear, because if you poke that big bear gets more aggressive and he gets more physical. And he's determined. He's going to get his work done. And so they built a good team on the 17 year. Then you got Miles Alexander's on the one right beneath them. That boy, I call him the prodigy. The prodigy. I've called him the prodigy since I saw him in 7th grade. Right before he got ready to go into the 8th grade. He was dropping juniors and seniors with his handles like they were laundry, y'all. That boy, and then I'm talking about unlimited range. If he steps across half court, you got to start guarding him right there, right then. Because if he decides he wants to shoot, he can shoot from there. Now, I'm not talking about forcing ugly shots. Dude can just shoot. And then he's so fast and he's so crafty. And them handles. I still can never get past them handles. Woo! That boy they call him, I can't use this name, but they have kind of titled him White Chocolate because he plays a lot like Jason Williams. A lot like Jason Williams. So, and I said, but look here, boy, I love you, but I'm going to keep calling you the prodigy. I ain't calling no dude White Chocolate. I can't see calling no dude chocolate. I can't. I watched Jason Williams play, and I didn't call him that. But he was thick. He was good, right? So they just have all these phenoms in this Tennessee Impact. I almost want. I don't know what we want to call them, a machine maybe, because they start young and they just keep bringing them up, and they don't separate. They stay together. They're like a family, and so beating that circuit team is tough on any level because they have so much talent and they play so well together that if they bring their game, it could be a long day for anybody on that court facing them.
You're absolutely right there. And wow, going over that Tennessee Impact team, that's a team that I'm definitely going to be paying attention to as well. And there's like so many other. I'm looking at the team standings here. BABC, who is like one of the hottest AAU teams in the country, just in general, not just in the Adidas circuit, but just in general. They're 8-0, but they lost their point guard Amir Jenkins, who also reclassified to the 2025 class, and is going to be joining the West G Mountaineers, which is really awesome because he fits right in the Ross Hodges system. I feel like he'll fit in that system well. Really good 3-point shooter, but also can play very physical on the defensive end, and that's what SG basketball is all about. It's all about physical defense, and I love that we're bringing that back. And you were mentioning about Trey Thompson, fitting right in with Iowa's system. You're right. I feel like Ben McCollum, he's a high-paced coach, and I feel like he'll excel in that. I feel like he'll definitely excel in that. I was really looking forward to seeing him this week too, but like I said, if your time is there to play college, then just go for it. That's the best you can do.
And he's going to do well. We're going to be talking about him, and I don't mind. I'm not bashful to say this to anybody. Within 2 years, that boy will be a lottery pick up there at Iowa. You can get ready. He's already gifted enough that if they wanted him to reclassify and he should still be a senior in high school, they see it too, and they can develop that talent quickly. I was known for that. So I mean, just mark my words. Within 2 years, that boy will be a lottery pick. You heard it
Absolutely.
here from Kevin Moses.
We heard it here
Calling
live.
corner shot.
It's kind of like, well, first things first, let's just talk about like some other basketball teams I'm watching. I plan on watching this kid from Washington Warriors. The Washington Warriors team has only lost one game throughout the whole entire Adidas circuit. And they have a kid named Darius Bivens, who I'm really interested in watching. He's 6-foot point guard. You know, he's very shifty. He excelled so well at that last Adidas session down in Iowa, close to Omaha, Nebraska. Man, he played so well. He has a couple of high major offers. And there's Compton Magic. We remember me and Paul Biancardi were talking about Compton Magic with Bruce Branch, who is going to go prolific prep heading the next season. Compton Magic looks pretty solid. I mean, they've always been one of the best AAU teams in the country every single year. They always produce high level NBA talent. With Compton Magic, they got Cameron Williams. He's listed in the top 10 in the ESPN Top 100 rankings. I think he's listed at number 7 with Caleb Holt from Game Elite at number 5. Those are the top 2 players in the whole entire circuit that I'm very interested in watching. And if you guys want to hear like what we said about them, you can just go back to the recent episode. But we already mentioned Wildcat Select, Game Elite. They got a couple other good players like Kevin Savage. They also got Diop. I can't pronounce his first name here, but I do know that he's a big 7-footer. Is already committed to play at Georgia Tech. Really solid. You know, Game Elite's the other 8-0 team in the 1700 division. I don't know if I'm saying this name correctly, but another dude I'm really looking forward to watching is 7'1" big man, Erfan Dion. Big 7'1" big man for Iowa United. Man, that dude is a beast. It's like I'm watching Shaquille O'Neal, but he's draining 3-point shots. I mean, this dude is doing everything. And the offers that he's been getting skyrocketing. He's getting offers from Houston. He's getting interest. I think he just got an offer from like Kansas. He's getting offers from like Indiana and all kinds of other Big Ten schools out there. So that's another big player to watch out for. And for Indiana Elite, we already covered Anthony Thompson. You know, Anthony Thompson is ranked 14th in the latest rankings in the ESPN Top 100. Really interested to see how he's going to do there. Anthony Thompson, I feel like he already has like an NIL deal with Adidas along with Taylor Kinney, AO, and all those other guys. So, I mean, he's gonna be like one of the he's one of the high school faces of Adidas right now. So he's going to be one of those players to look out for, and especially with the leading point guard on that team, Mr. Luke Ertl, who's committed to Purdue. So, yeah, a lot of good 17 under teams. I already mentioned Duron Rippey Jr., who I call him Ja Morant 2.0. He's so athletic, really good on the defensive end. I mean, my goodness, they're really good. I mean, a lot of good AAU teams in the 17 under circuit. But who do you think will win out? Who do you think will bring home the championship in the 17 under?
It's too close for me to call. I promise you that will be very difficult because to make it to the championship round means that you're very, very good.
Right.
And so any given game, you probably will see the ability for any team to beat any team. You just have to hold your breath, buckle up, and enjoy the show.
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait for it. And, well, first, I also wanted to ask you, this is like non-Adidas related, but I just wanted to ask you, how did this recruiting scouting service like all start out for you? Like, how did that start for you, Mr. Kevin?
Well, it's funny. It's kind of a funny story and an intriguing story all at the same time. Please stop. I have to know. I have to have quiet. So 4 years ago, I actually came to Twitter to do paid survey. I'm a paid survey challenge to kind of check it out and rate the system, right? So I get over there and I found out, oh my goodness, I get to choose the content I want to watch. So of course, I'm an old basketball guy, and basketball that's my wheelhouse. So I get in there, and because I articulate well and I have a gift with words, I
Mhm.
started finding kids that were really talented, and I would write about their little highlights or whatever. Connected with a kid out of North Dakota named Max Frosley. Max Frosley was about 6'7", 6'8", and he was your ultimate blue collar gem. Just worked hard all the time, and he never forced shots. If Max took a shot, you could write it down. That's money. He don't take shots he's not gonna make, right? So anyway, after connecting with Max, getting to be good friends with him and his dad, Max tore his ACL at the end of his junior year, the very first week of AAU. Senior year gone. And his dad was like, Kevin, he's worked his whole life to play college basketball. I don't know what we're going to do. And the same thing had happened to his sister a few years earlier. And Kelly was just not sure. By the time that we had gotten to this place, Top Preps and Basketball Dimes had connected with me, which are two really prominent promoting platforms.
Mhm.
And so they said, if you will tag us in highlights, you can look through our network and see all the coaches, and we'll get the kids we'll get them some exposure, to help them get, to the next level if that's what they want to do. Max ended up, all we could do was share old highlights because we didn't have anything current without him playing 1 minute of his senior year. And he picked where he wanted to go after having multiple offers. So while I was working with Max, there was another kid out of Oregon named Chomp Jones who had tore his ACL. And he had heard about what I was doing with Max and said, can you work with me and help me get back on the radar? Because now he's going into his junior year, and he was a real stud, y'all. He had a lot of real high major colleges looking at him, though he
Mhm.
was a guard because he was so good, but it fell off after he tore his ACL. So he was just trying to get back in the scene to be able to pick up momentum again in his senior year when he was getting ready, when his junior year was going back or whatever. And so I started working with him. While I'm working with the two of them, I get a message from Daniel Hyde out of California, who showed me this clip of a 6'10" monster. At that time, that was about the biggest kid that I could say that I'd ever witnessed up close and personal like that, if you know what I mean. So
Mhm.
and he shows them to me, and I'm going, dang, that's a big old boy. And he was versatile. He could shoot inside, he could shoot outside. He was a shot blocking machine. He owned the glass. He had an injury. And so coming off that injury, he couldn't pick up any steam. So he said, you think you could do anything with that? I probably think I could. So I worked with those three to start. All three of them went to college, or except Chomp. Chomp is going to go to college because he did commit, but he went on his mission trip first because he's a Mormon boy. So he did that first. Very high character, very good kid. Anyway, so I prayed about it, Ollie, and I know that you'll understand that. Father, is this what you're trying to tell me you want me to do to be able to finally give back and be a part of the game that I love so much and that I didn't think I would ever see again other than on television? And so the father kind of gave me my answer is yes. I said, well, you'll have to navigate this thing because I have no idea other than I'm good with words and I understand basketball really, really well. That's all I knew. And so from that day, he showed me the money machine and how the kids were slipping through the cracks by the thousands every year and not getting to their dream because they didn't know how to navigate the recruiting system, the recruiting process. Their coaches did, and their parents don't. And so you got thousands of kids that are talented enough to play college basketball, but don't know how to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And I bawled and squalled for days after I saw that, y'all. It was hard on me because I'm a really, everything I do from my heart, 100% from my heart, right? So my heart broke for these kids because they didn't have it. And then when I found that Money Machine, Ollie, and I'm sure you doing this, you sing all the Money Machine, telling the kids you got to pay me hundreds and thousands of dollars to help you get to your college dream, and I'll do all this stuff. And no, it's their dream. They put in the work every day, their sweat, their blood, their tears. They should never have to pay you a dime to get to their dreams. It's their skills that seal the deal anyway. Even if you have contacts or connections, the coach has to like the skill of the kid or they don't get it anyway. So
Right.
What do you mean pay you? Pay you? Really? And I just couldn't. So Ollie, that's how it all started. And it just evolved from that point to where it went from 2 kids, 3 kids to thousands of them. And then I remember when it shifted from just boys basketball, which is still my wheelhouse, to everything. Because I have a pastor minister friend, my prayer partner out in California, Coach Mitchell, who runs City Legends. He says, Kevin, if God sends you kids that play other sports, you're still supposed to help them. That's why he sent them. And he says, if you don't know about the sport, learn about it and still help them. If you can't do anything but retweet their stuff, help them. So I did. And now it's every sport, boys and girls. If I don't know it, I try to learn about it to be sure that I can help some kind of way. And I have connections in every sport on every division level all over the world. And so a part of this, Ollie, is where I started doing the sports writing, because that opportunity opened up for me while I was doing this. And it was like, well, you can do media coverage for us. And because you're so good at writing, why don't you write up a couple of things about some games? Boy, that blew up into, oh my goodness. I found out how much I enjoy breaking open a kid's game and learning and studying them. And like we're doing live interviews,
Right.
I do it in written form. I give them interview style questions and they answer them. And then I articulate what I see, what they say, and mix it all together for a beautiful article. And so you got all of this evolution that happened over time that started with Max Frosley, one kid. And I thank God for him and Kelly every day, because this for me, and I always get so emotional, it's so fulfilling and rewarding to make a difference in the lives of these kids everywhere. You inspire them, you encourage them, you motivate them, you teach them, and you help them get to their dream. Being a part of their village, never getting out in front of them, trying to hog any light, but pushing them forward every way that you can so that they can live that dream, right?
Right.
And it's so rewarding and feeling like when his dad messaged me and told me what happened, I was like, oh my gosh. Really? And I mean, the reward is that you got to enjoy their journey with them and you get to watch them grow and develop and get to that dream. And you just get to sit back and say, I enjoyed his journey with him. That was so cool. I mean, and it doesn't have to be about money, though so many make it about money. It doesn't have to be. It can be just about the kids. And why shouldn't it be? We're just the village. We're not the ballers. We're not the players. Just the village.
Yeah, you're absolutely right with that. I mean, yeah, I was just about to talk about that earlier. It's just like what you mentioned, that like whenever I first started out, like I was mentioning to Paul earlier today, whenever I first started this out, I was just like, this has to be something that's bigger than me, because I knew whenever I was in high school, it was all about me. I mean, I told myself I was selfish. I would be straight. I mean, I feel like I deserved all the credit and everything. But then I realized it's like, this has never been about me. It's always been about these kids. And And I feel like I come to realize that whenever I started, it was like the Lord was saying that this is what you're doing. You get to, help these kids out with their dream, and you get to be a part of that. That's the most rewarding thing about it, is that you're seeing these kids fulfill their dream, and seeing that from my home state is just it's just, like I said, it's a surreal feeling. And just seeing like we're gonna see this week with these kids on a national stage with all those college coaches and all the high level media. It's just completely unreal, and just can't thank the Lord enough just for everything that He's done and for these kids. And now you're gonna make me emotional just talking about it here. So, but it is very rewarding. Before we cap off, is there anything you wanted to say? Any advice that you want to give out for all the players out there that want to strive for success?
There is. You put in the work for whatever level of basketball you want to play. And you never let anybody put you in a box and tell you what you cannot do. You determine how high you fly by the work you put in. And whatever you put in is what you'll get out. But dream big and fight with everything in you. Work tirelessly day after day to get to that dream, and you'll get there.
Man, that's good.
It's
That's good
inspiring.
right there.
Yeah.
Jaggers, anything you wanted to add before we wrap up?
I just wanted to thank you for being here and, talking to us today and just talking about your journey and how you started and how you got here. It's really inspiring with what you said and just how you started, and that's awesome.
Thank you.
But Mr. Kevin, man, I know we got a busy day ahead of us tomorrow. We got long trips ahead. It's going to be an amazing week. For any Adidas 3SSB content, we're going to give you guys some content live on our Twitter accounts. I don't know if I put it on here, but we are live streaming on X as well. I put the username at Kevin Moses 38. Make sure you guys go follow Kevin Moses for any updates, and also make sure to follow at Ollie Reed Sports on Twitter, or X.com, Instagram, Facebook for all the latest news that we'll give you throughout the week of the Adidas 3SSB Palmetto Road Championships in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Like I said, we'll want to thank Kevin Moses for being on the podcast tonight. Have Jagger Matheny alongside my co-host, and also shout out to Mr. Paul Biancardi for showing up today. It was just a big day, and it's going to be a bigger week this week. So really looking forward to the journey.